What's something that's actually better than 20 years before? 20 years ago there was like maybe a quarter of craft breweries open compared to now. I can only think of a handful of breweries who have remained open for that amount of time. Beer is a lot better. There are way more styles available, and most of the breweries who have been around for a bit have created excellent staple beers, with loads of interesting rotations thrown in. But the market is pretty saturated with a lot of mediocre beers and breweries. Beer is also not that expensive to produce, but people will buy it at insane markups no matter the quality. Nearly everything technology related, fast food, digital entertainment, manufactured goods, cars, luxury food and beverages like craft beer and gluten-free cookies. Those are the things that went up. Work culture also seems to have improved quite a bit. Many things, especially material things, have improved in the last 20 years. But unfortunately that's often overshadowed in my mind by the few really important things that got worse and continue to get worse. Adjective, technology, crime. Despite what people may think, crime is down by a lot. XOB, subjective. Suits. Look at pictures of NBA players getting drafted in the 2000s like LeBron and Carmelo. Look at pictures of draftees in the 2010s like Lonzo Ball. Here come our sports comments. 6J3FCI 2003 versus 2017 NBA draft. Suits to dudes in the 2000s look like clowns in baggy, boxy, ill-fitting suits. The 2010s folks have nice, fitted suits. Almost everything is better, technologically speaking, and for individual quality of life. Culture has certainly made a major shift that I think honestly gives everyone over about 30 years old whiplash, but it's fine. Culture changes, and the advancement of technology has allowed for it to happen faster. It will still swing back and forth the same as it ever has, and I'm pretty confident that we can handle that without civil war or whatever people are afraid will happen. Food delivery, mostly on my porch so that I don't have to make small talk or scramble to make sure the part of the house that can be seen from the door isn't a complete mess when I've just gotten home from work. Lol. I can also change right into my pajamas as soon as I get home. Operating systems in general, on any device, are way more stable and secure than they used to be. Sure, ransomware and malware are ever present, but those are almost always triggered by human interaction. And I'm not here to argue that stupidity has gotten better. Remember how many apps would give your computer chlamydia, how many trials and bloatware came on PCs, even early smart devices. It's all become much better than they used to be. To main things, I can be openly something other than straight, and it, in theory, won't cause me to be discriminated against as far as workplaces go. Outside of work, the discrimination is still present, but I'm far less likely to be beaten to death by people with baseball bats. The stigma surrounding anxiety, depression, autism, etc. is so much less. A lot more people, myself included, are finally getting the help they need. Gay people can get married. Cancer care, stroke care, electric cars, computers, cell phones, the internet, vegan and vegetarian food options in groceries and restaurants, fake meat, health insurance in the US due to Obamacare, computer-generated special effects in movies, TV comedies, fewer laugh tracks, awareness of systematic injustice against marginalized groups. I'm sure there are plenty more. Most things are better. I mean, FFS, the phone I type my message on Reddit app is 20 times more powerful than any PC people can use 20 years ago. Our technology's improved a lot in the last 20 years. The only reason not everything is better now is because of human greed exploiting those improvements and make our experience worse than it should. Mediums of communication. You rang your friend's house and he's not around. Tough luck. Don't know his exact address. Guess that letter you sent is returning back to you. Today you have all sorts of mediums to get in touch with people. It's almost as if you can't even find an excuse to not be contacted by anyone at any time. A really niche one, but cosplay supplies. 20 years ago the good wigs were the party city quality shiny wigs, but now getting a decent quality wig is accessible. Same with crafting materials. The only thing that's harder at the moment, at least in America, is getting fabric thanks to a certain fabric retailer's business practices. Internet accessibility to knowledge, actionable information. A singular motivated individual is not so limited in what he or she could attain to. Also, ability to find the others. This is most often employed currently by conspiracy theorists, flat father and the like. However, a barrier has been removed for better or worse. Acceptance of others. Yeah, we still have a long way to go. But in my tiny corner of the world, me as a teen friend's deathly afraid to come out of the closet for repercussions and fear. Me as a mum of a teen spend Sunday morning attending a drag brunch with my teen. Post on Facebook and it's nothing but pure support for her. Depictions of gaming in TV shows and movies. Used to be, they'd have an actor sitting in front of the TV, waving around the controller like crazy, and saying I'm about to beat the hyper wizard for 20,000 bonus points. These days, though, it's more realistic, to the degree that they sometimes even use a real video game. Choice of lush vegan foods, vegan mock meats, plant-based ice creams and milks, plant-based egg using tofu and black salt, vegan honey. Lastly, there's more people holding themselves accountable and living a vegan lifestyle now than ever before. Wonderful, but more the merrier. Internet speed and reliability. Cystic fibrosis treatment, GH treatment, 677,471. GIF CTT1X8GXITZKFOS1N6C7ZZPU97 by TUCBDJF1LSUTM source copy link UTM median social UTM campaign share FBC LIDIW AR3 EVUIRD5HXX17GK 3 MPIKE 2 TTFDUAUZTQ4Z5ITK to CHI for KNLPQZIEOK. This one is more specific to me. I'm so happy to get more access to Asian products and even media compared to my childhood. If I want to go to a pop concert, I don't have to go all the way to Asia. Although I do want that one day. I think other people can also get more access to foreign media products too. Gaming. Not the games, but hardware and software is much easier to use. You can play games on nearly any device, and there are much cheaper options: PC, handhelds, smartphones, that actually work compared to 20 years ago. You really had to put in a huge amount of money just to play games. Navigation and transportation. Add Atlas and USGS topo maps to complete my climbs other than the railroad system in the US. All other forms of mass transportation make it easier to reach every part of the country without a vehicle. Technology is way better, but the way it's being used is way worse for the most part. T really pisses me off that in the Western world we have such technological wonders that we never would have conceived of even 20 years ago. And people use them to spread fear, hate and misinformation. Cystic fibrosis life expectancy. When my niece was first diagnosed with it as an infant, her parents were told she had a life expectancy of about 15. She's 18 now and lives a mostly normal life. And TBH, I'm not even sure what her life expectancy is, but it's a hell of a lot longer. Finding interesting things around you. Facebook isn't great at, but do I tell you, it's perfect to seek smaller events or jobs volunteering in your near area. Tell anything you want about social media, but this aspects of it is great, especially if the city you live in is huge. Online shopping. Most things I need can be ordered online and delivered to my door in less than 24 hours. Many items can even be delivered same day. This includes even basic things like groceries. It is an amazing time saver, and I don't even have to leave my house. Gaming. Yes, I said it, there's so many good games nowadays, so many options plus CR and peripherals for disabled people. Yes, there's a lot of shit practices, but so people tend to overlook all the negatives nowadays and just ignore all the good we've gotten. Options for dietary restrictions: vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, etc. As someone who's been lactose intolerant most of my life with a sensitive stomach on top of it, I love that I'm now spoiled for choice when it comes to food options. Hated it for the most part, but one thing is better now than 20 years. The media can't lie easily nowadays, because social media has allowed at least a little bit for independent journalists to debunk them. I would say access to information, internet and advancements in technology. We have unprecedented access to knowledge, resources, and communication tools, making it easier to learn, connect, and stay informed about the world around us. Price of TVs, certain medical and dental procedures, fees on mutual funds ETFs, was every single thing touched by government policy. Schools, cost of higher education, cost of medicine, social security's cost future, tax burden overall. Weed, the quality and the quantity and the variety. It's really just incredible. Take this from someone who grew up knowing a third of every purchase would be seeds and stems. You'll just don't know how good you have it these days. There's a book called Future Babble. It starts with an examination of happiness type surveys going back 100 years. Every generation says it fears for tomorrow. Yesterday was better, including the one just after 2 world wars. Human rights, extra OOB, medical technology, extra OOB, global poverty levels, extra OOB, global life expectancy, extra OOB, availability of information though at the cost of credibility of information, extra OOB, and much more.